The story of Babel leaves us with a question. Why did God really scatter the languages of the people? Was it because they were building a skyscraper, reaching for the sky with brick and mortar? Or was it simply because they were united, many voices speaking as one? No, far from it. To understand why God confused the languages, we must go back before Babel, back before cities, back to the very beginning. Before the breath of God formed man from the dust of the ground, before Eve, the mother of all living, before the garden bloomed with life and fellowship with God, God spoke a mandate over humanity. Be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. This was not merely an instruction, it was God's mandate for man. This was how man was to image God. Adam was to take God's presence in Eden and fill the earth with it. But deception entered. Eve was deceived. Adam willfully disobeyed. And in that moment, humanity rejected God's counsel of life, choosing moral autonomy, seeking by human effort what could only ever be attained by faith. For man will image God on God's term, which is receiving His life. The result was exile. Man was driven out of the garden, out of sacred space, out of divine order, out of unhindered fellowship with God. Time passed. Adam and Eve bore sons, Cain and Abel. And Cain, the scripture says, was of the wicked one. In the field, jealousy turned to blood. Brother rose against brother. Abel fell, and Cain fled from the presence of the Lord. Then something profound happened. Cain built a city, not a garden, not an altar, a city, directly opposite Eden, a direct rebellion against God's mandate. God said, "Fill the earth." Cain said, "I will settle." God said, "Spread." Cain said, "Never." Instead of movement, he chose settlement. Instead of obedience, he chose defiance. And from that seed of refusing dispersion, that seed of human self-achievement, that seed of resisting God's mandate, Babel was inevitable. Centuries passed, and in those days there were giants on the earth. Violence filled the land. Corruption spread like a stain across creation. The earth was corrupt before God, and every imagination of the thoughts of man's heart was evil. Continually, what God had declared very good had been twisted, polluted, defiled. Yet God had not forgotten His original purpose. He desired to restore His Edenic mandate, that His presence would once again fill the whole earth, that creation would be ordered under His rule. But before renewal, there must be cleansing. So God chose to act. He found a man. His name was Noah, a righteous man in his generation, a man who walked with God. And God spoke to Noah. He instructed him to build an ark, a vessel of preservation in preparation for a flood that would wash over the whole earth and wipe away every corrupt inhabitant. After the flood, Noah built an altar and offered a sacrifice to God. And God spoke, not something new, but the very same words He had spoken at the beginning. He said to Noah, "Be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth." The same mandate, the same purpose, the same divine intention. Because God's desire had not changed, that His glory would cover the whole earth, and that man would be His chosen agency to bring that purpose to fulfillment. Time passed. Men began to multiply upon the face of the earth, and as they journeyed, they came to the land of Shinar, and there they settled. The same mistake Cain made, the same resistance to dispersion. They said to one another, "Come, let us make bricks, and let us build for ourselves a city and a tower whose top will reach into heaven. Let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered over the face of the whole earth. They chose settlement over obedience. They chose to dwell over multiplying. They did not want to fill the earth. They wanted to secure themselves. They wanted a name, but not God's name. They wanted glory, but not God's glory. They feared being scattered, even though scattering was the mandate. And so God came down, not because he was threatened, not because he was impressed, but because his eternal purposes must stand. The earth would be filled with his glory. His design would not be overturned by human ambition. And there, he confounded their languages. He scattered them across the face of the earth. God enforced what man refused to obey, and the mandate moved forward, not through towers, not through cities, but through dispersion. For God will yet choose another man to further his cause, for the glory of the Lord was always meant to fill the whole earth as waters covered the sea.